Few training modalities have changed my entire approach to strength training, like overcoming isometrics, so much so that I wrote a book about it. But since writing that book, I've gotten lots of questions from people on how to program overcoming isometrics towards various modalities and objectives. It can't be that hard to figure out. You basically just substitute reps for time, because after all, repetitions are just a timing mechanism. However, and the more I'm starting to think about it on a fundamental level, because that's how we roll here at RDP, the more I'm starting to question the entire approach to programming overcoming isometrics, not just in the way that it's done, but whether or not programming itself is even necessary. Now you might be thinking, Matt, you've totally lost it this time. You're literally telling me that I can just do overcoming isometrics literally any which way from here till Sunday, and it doesn't really matter? Yeah. That's almost exactly what I'm saying. Here's why. Remember, when it comes down to fundamentally what our muscles are doing with strength training, we've only got two variables. We've got tension, or how much tension is in the muscle, aka strength, and then we have time, for how long we have that tension there for, or endurance. So when we're programming dynamic exercise, what we're doing is basically manipulating those two variables. If I have a lighter level of resistance, I have less tension, but I can go for more periods of time to enhance various stamina qualities. And if I program for more resistance, well, now I'm making the trade-off that I can have more tension and develop more strength, but I can't go for as much repetition or volume, and so it's making a compromise there. So basically with dynamic exercise, all we're doing with programming is manipulating various, variables with the contingency of, can you move? So if I've got too much resistance and I can't generate enough tension in my muscles, then I need to change the programming. Or by trying to make myself get a couple more reps, then I am creating a stimulus based on time and tension all around the idea of, can I move, and do I go until I can't move anymore, aka failure. But with overcoming isometrics, there's no contingency. There's no, can you do this much or this much tension, because no matter how I do this, fundamentally, my muscles are always doing the same thing. They're always creating as much tension as I can, and as long as I can hold it, but since force and resistance is always equal with isometrics, then you're able to basically hold it for infinite amount of times. You never reach that proverbial failure. In addition, your technique is the same, your speed is the same, and you're always trying to generate as much tension as possible, which means that no matter how I do this, on a fundamental level, my muscles are almost always doing the exact same thing, regardless of programming, so why bother with it in the first place? Overcoming isometrics is by far the simplest and easiest, most direct way to strengthen your muscles. It requires so much less skill, coordination, technique, and a host of other athletic qualities that can limit your ability to effectively work your muscles. And now we may have even one more, which is that it almost always works regardless of how you program it. The only variable that I would urge you to consider is that of overall muscular fatigue. So on one side, fatigue can be not so great, like if you've got a lot of other activities you do, like you're a cross-country runner, and you do a whole lot of isometric leg exercises, and then you go out for a 5K or something and your legs are just lead and you don't have any speed or anything because your legs are tired, well, then do less of it. Or on the other hand, you could be saying, yeah, but I want to build muscle. And these days, a lot of the evidence is strongly suggesting that one of the key drivers for stimulating hypertrophy is really bringing the muscle to a lot of fatigue, or a very fatigued point. In that case, you may want more volume and more time under tension and more frequency to give you a little bit more of an advantage towards hopefully creating that fatigue and therefore a hypertrophy stimulus. But once again, you can probably achieve or avoid that fatigue that's going to inhibit you, or go after the fatigue that may help you reach that goal however you want. Train every day, train 3 times a week, do 5 sets, do 2 sets, hold for 30 seconds, hold for 20 seconds, and you're probably going to get a strong feedback loop on what just feels better. You may feel best doing it every day. You may feel best doing it every other day, depending on how you're managing that fatigue. And you may feel like you're getting stronger each set with twice a week or 6 times a week. It's going to take some experimentation, but again, I don't think this is something that you have to get just right in order to be successful with. You can probably use these exercises in a wide range of programming circumstances and still come out on top. So don't worry about it too much. Play with it, use it however you like. It's probably going to work great for you. If you want to learn more, check out my book, Overcoming Isometrics. Links is down below to that, as well as the Overcoming Isometrics playlist here on the RDP YouTube channel. I'd love to hear your questions down below that I can answer for you. Thank you very much for watching. Be fit and live free.